Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to discuss Nano Dimensions, so ticker symbols NNDM. Now, Nano Dimensions have got the earnings report in a couple of days, so the 31st of March. So we're going to run through some of those things to watch out for on the day of the earnings and also after the earnings. And also I'm going to share with you guys a piece of information that I believe long term it could potentially be very solid on a fundamental note. And even though this information was announced a couple of weeks ago, I'm still going to share with you guys and let you guys know why I believe it could potentially be very solid long term. And lastly, I'm going to go through the price action. So looking at where the price currently is, where I believe it's going to go to, because right now it's sitting at a key resistance level. So make sure you guys watch to the end so you don't miss any information. If you're new to the channel and this is the kind of content that you enjoy seeing or you just want to see, basically if you're invested in NNDM or any other stocks that I currently cover on my channel or cryptos, then make sure you guys go ahead, subscribe. You know, it's totally free, helps me out, helps you guys out in the long term. With that being said, let's get this bread. So looking at some of the fundamentals for NNDM, and right now the beta is sitting at 2.19. Now the beta represents the volatility of a stock. So beta is a way of measuring stocks volatility compared with the overall market's volatility. So anything above 1 is generally seen as the stock is somewhat volatile. If it's just above 1, it's somewhat volatile. If it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, that means that the stock is very volatile. And the reason why I'm showing you guys the beta of NNDM is that it's approaching earnings right now, so it's expected that the volatility is going to go up because a lot of people are getting in. There's a lot more volume being traded on a daily basis. You know, it's currently sitting at 2.3 million. The average is 4.6. So if you're currently invested in NNDM, then expect some volatility, potentially wild swings either up or down within the market. But if you're long-term investing, then this really shouldn't affect you or worry you too much. So the piece of news that I'd like to share with you guys is Yigal Rotem, high-tech entrepreneur and ex-CEO of NASDAQ companies, joins Nano Dimensions board of directors. So the article was published on the 15th of February 2022. So pretty much last month. So Nano Dimensions, an industry leader in additively manufactured electronics, AME, printed electronics, PE, and micro additive manufacturing, announced today the appointment of Mr. Yigal Rotem to the board of directors of the company, the board, effectively immediately. So they got this new member to the board, Mr. Rotem, and he has served as a chairman and later as an executive officer of Finaro Bank. This is a very good move. First of all, the fact that they're bringing in new, like, fresh minds, etc. Someone that's worked in the previous industry, basically a different industry. He worked in the banking industry before and is coming to the technology industry, so he'll have a thing or two to share, like new information or a new fresh pair of eyes to see how the business of NNDM is currently being run, and potentially bring in new things, measures that would basically mitigate any issues that was previously being seen, some LFE, so learning from experience, bringing it into NNDM. So this is really good because it could really shake things up for the company, and also he can bring a fresh mind to it and help steer the company in the right direction. So looking at the 15th of February, I mean, on this news, there was a gap up from $3 all the way up to opening at $3.84 from $3.77. It's a slight gap up, but that closed very bullish, and this was pretty much the first move towards testing that $4 resistance. But since then the market has just come down, etc. So perhaps a lot of people had a lot of expectations that, you know, he's just going to come in and the price is going to take off, etc. So this could have potentially been a lot of people getting involved in the market, basically buying and seeing that, you know what, the market has got to this point. They thought it was going to move a lot higher, and perhaps they maybe sold their shares, etc. on the next day. Whatever the reason was, the price actually decreased from that point on. And this doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. You know, looking at it from a short term, like pretty much a tunnel visioned point of view, this looks really bad. But if you look at the bigger picture and the broader scope of things, this is potentially a good thing, because it shows that initially the market actually reacted very well to this because there was a strong bullish move and a bullish close on basically on the 15th of February, which means that a lot of people took on this idea very well, as well as retail investors. Institutional investors also react well to it, because guess what, they'll be buying in bulk, you know, wholesale. They'll be buying a lot of shares, which ultimately create a lot of demand within the market, and this is ultimately a very good thing. But fundamental pieces of news like this, you don't generally see the effects of it for maybe a good few weeks, possibly a few months leading into a year. In my previous video, I pretty much called what's going on right now, saying that the price, there was going to be a lot of supply around this area, and the price would potentially fall down to the 50 moving average, which could potentially hold as a good support, a dynamic support. And if that was the case, then the price was going to head back up to test that resistance and very likely break that resistance, which will follow with a lot of demand, pushing the price even further up, you know. But for now, we just need to break that $4 resistance. So if you enjoyed this video and this is the kind of content that you enjoy seeing, make sure you guys subscribe, and of course hit that notification bell so you don't miss any further uploads on or updates on NNDM or any other stocks that I follow on my channel, or cover on my channel rather, or even crypto. Or if you like me to cover anything that possibly you're following, etc., then leave us a comment below. Let me know what you like to cover, or even a comment below, let me know what you think of the analysis that I've given, or the news that I've given, or basically your thoughts on NNDM. Give this video a thumbs up so I know this is the kind of content that you enjoy seeing, and I'll continue bringing out content just like this. Thanks guys, God bless.